Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome to the East-West Show. Jack Chow on the East-West Show with GNE TV. Today, once again, with my friend Ken Hemming, we're doing our weekly update. For the past week, relatively quiet. There are some big issues to talk about, right? As a matter of fact, there are some bigger issues if you count on the side of the impact of the issue itself, right? So with Ken Hemming, let's start with he's got a bucket list.
Yeah, I've got a bucket list.
What do you have on top?
Well, I'm not planning on kicking my bucket right yet, Jack, because I must keep breathing so I can spend time with your viewers. So so I'm taking better care of myself physically so I can be here with you guys.
Thank you very much for doing that.
My honor. So let's start on something positive, okay? Today is day 3,453 of the longest bull market, the growth of our economy, the growth of our stock markets in the history of our country. Now that's pretty good.
3,455?
3,453. Yeah.
3,453 days.
Yes, consecutive days. Yeah.
That's almost 10 years.
Without more, it's 10 years, yeah. Without more of any backup. What happens if you're keeping moving forward, but you don't have a backup in your market up to 20%, then it's still a market moving forward. And so we haven't had any major backups in this time. Growth was slow in the first 8 years, but it was there. And when President Trump was elected, our Dow Industrial Index was 18,000. Now it's like 25,800 today.
It was one time 26.
It was 26,650 once. But you can't stay at the top of Mount Everest all the time because the air is so thin up there, okay? However, as things like the tax cuts and the regulations being reduced, and the investment in America, companies coming back here, companies starting new here. Right now, I would say for 2 or 3 years, it looks real good. And I'm getting a little bit more aggressive in my investing, which may work or may not work. I don't know.
You just mentioned about 3,453.
Yes, sir.
3,453
consecutive days.
3,453 days, consecutive days.
Yeah.
Right? When the record drops no more than 20.
Yeah, so in any
considered a moving
retraction.
Trend, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. So
you're good.
Yeah, sure.
You're great.
That's almost 10 years of time.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
Does the 10 years of time, that period, must include Obama time? Does it?
It does include it, but also in Obama's 8 years, it was the slowest recovery from the 2007-2008 disaster, where banks were in trouble, the housing market imploded, the stock market went from 14,000 to 6,600. Cost me a lot of money, I'll tell you that. I mean, a lot for me, maybe not for the rich people, but a lot. And so it was a slow recovery, the slowest recovery. And since President Trump got elected, it's exploded. But it's all good, okay? It's all good. We had recovery.
I like the concept to have those days included.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, because from 2008 till now, till 2000. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
So if we really take 10 years time, though,
yes, sir,
tracking from now back then,
yeah,
you're really talking about starting point of 2008.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
That's 10 years.
Right.
That 8 years, I'm happy that you were being reasonable to include Obama period of time.
Well,
as part of it, however, slowly, however, picking up.
When he got in, it was 6,600 or 7,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
It couldn't go much more backwards, okay? So there was really not, President Obama, fine, whoever he is fine. He was not a pro-business president, and he liked regulations, okay, to stifle business. But it grew slowly because it was at such a low level, so you couldn't fail, all right? But it could have been much more aggressive. And now we have a business-friendly, a business-supportive, less government, more investment opportunities. It's a glorious time right now.
I believe so. I agree with you. And I just pointed out that I appreciated the fact that we did include Obama time
It must be.
within the 10 years,
Right,
right?
yeah.
As the consecutive increase
Right.
or moving forward
Yeah.
positively, right? Now, you're talking about the past 2 years of when Donald Trump is in power. You're talking about not only this, you're also talking about many indicators too.
Right. Well,
one of them
yeah.
is our unemployment rate.
hallelujah.
Unemployment rate, according to I last read, it was about at the record low of past 40 years.
About 3.8, okay? And the real exciting thing, Jack, people, most people don't want to just do nothing and have their mother, the government, take care of them. Busy hands are happy hands. When I'm not doing something that feels that I have a purpose in life versus just taking naps, which I can do too, okay?
Good for you.
Yeah, it's, you're stimulated and you can take care of your family better. The tax cuts, people are taking home more. The consumer spending is growing quite nicely. And what really I like with unemployment going down, almost 4 million less people on food stamps. Food stamps, I tried to figure out if I could qualify for food stamps sometime, because there's so much corruption in trying to qualify for government programs. If you're smart enough, you can figure out a way, all right? Now, my soul doesn't let me do it, but I think about it. And then also what I really like, the African-American unemployment rate is at a historical low. Same for Latinos, Hispanics, okay? Women.
It's overall low.
Yeah.
It's overall low.
Right.
Hispanic,
Oh,
black,
yeah.
white,
Women.
historical.
Yeah. And it just means people have more optimism. I mean, it was very depressing for example, during the Obama administration, on an annual basis, our growth, our gross national product growth was never more than 2%. And now our last quarter here was 4.1%. I don't know how long we can sustain it, but all we have is 3 more months to go this year. We'll probably have a 3% for this year. That's what the people are projecting.
3.8.
Well,
No, right now 3.8.
for the year. Yeah,
For the year, yes.
But so we'll see what happens in the fourth quarter. And of course, then when you have an election, who knows what all the ramifications of that are. But the people are investing, and they just have a better positive attitude. They feel better that they're able to take care of themselves and their families. And some of these millennials can get out of their parents' basement.
It's natural.
Yeah.
It's natural when you promote for better policies.
Right.
And when you have lower tax.
Yeah.
Right.
And less government.
When you have smaller government.
Yeah.
Right. And you lose instead of a tightened control of business.
Right. Yeah.
Our business growth, though.
Yeah.
Well, of course, those are the outcome that will come out.
There is one slight danger now, and that is they've loosened again, I think too much, the ability to qualify for a loan for a house. The down payments are getting less again, and that's really bad. Before you could just pretend, okay, I'm earning $200,000 a year, and you could get a loan, and then you couldn't make the payments, and that's why we had the explosion, the implosion of the real estate market. So I just beg everybody to be sure you're financially prepared to finance the mortgage and service the mortgage when you're trying to either move up into a house or buy your first house.
And of course,
don't get enticed.
Of course, personally, I go seriously against those old rules of no equity at all.
That's terrible.
You
It
go
is.
ask
It's
for loan
terrible.
Just to say, just what you say, depending on what you say.
Yeah.
You say you make $1 million a year, you make $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Right.
And here goes along.
Yeah.
I totally go against that. Right.
Yeah.
And then later, the tighten. Right. You got to do 25% of the down pay.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And then especially with the cash deals incoming from elsewhere.
Yes, sir.
For example, China. Right. The market has been crazy for a while. People here say, "Hey, a box of money, all cash."
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Oh no, that's true.
$3 million.
They come in with cash.
Right. $3 million, and they here's the house, or something like that. and that is as a trend has gone already.
Well, a lot of
It's gone.
the money was coming, Jack, like in New York City, where you've got $60 million penthouses and, you know, unbelievable things. The money was coming from rich Russians and rich Chinese to get it out of their countries to try to have it more safe in America for future use.
They're out of question.
And it's not happening now.
I don't worry about that. I have nothing to do with that. But what I do have something to do with it is the price level is going to be pushed up. The price.
Of real estate,
Prices,
you mean?
Yeah.
But it's
The real estate
slowing
price,
now.
the
It's
push-
slowing.
It's slowing down now.
Yeah.
It's getting settled. At this very moment, instead of asking for 20 or 25% of down pay, they have some special programs. I got calls lately for 10 something even below of
For
a
down payment, yeah.
which is reasonable.
Well, reasonable and dangerous.
As long as you have,
it's dangerous.
You have a solid income, you have a good job, and
You can afford the payment,
You can
yeah.
afford the payment, of
Right.
course, and it's good.
But then if you don't have enough money in reserves for like 6 months worth of income and you lose your job, you're in deep trouble. And I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the world. And so it's, you know, I had a nice career as a CPA. I made nice money, and I don't think I spent it all particularly wisely. I had a lot of fun, you know, things like that, which I'm not ashamed of. I was still prudent and I'm secure, but I've never been in love with money. But I have always been aware of maintaining security, so I'm never a burden on anybody. This is the whole thing.
You're one of the conservative people, I would say, all right? Okay, my dear friends, let's start, and this weekly update starts with the money, which is not bad.
No, this is
to
a
look at.
celebration.
Yeah, celebration for the 3,453 days.
Yes, sir.
Straight up. Well, that's a good record to keep up, right? Okay, let's take a short moment now. When we come back, we really have to look at something international. All right, I'm really concerned about our pastor there in Turkey.
God bless him.
Right. So
Yes.
Stay with us. We'll be right back, please. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow, on the weekly update with my friend Ken Hemming. Touching base with you for the past week. First, we did a little celebration for the 3,453 days of a straight up moving forward record for U.S. economy, which is indicated by the stock exchange indicators. Back from there, we want to talk about something international. I need some update from you. How is our pastor doing in Turkey? Is he released yet or not?
Well, the poor gentleman is still in prison, and we're putting a lot of pressure on Turkey. President Trump is increasing certain restrictions on Turkey's economy, which is a very weak economy. I think it's down 30% in the value of its own money right now. And I don't know why Erdogan, who is the leader of Turkey, I don't know why he just let him go. You know, let him go. Why be stubborn? Okay. Now, you know, it's a country where their leader wants it to be a fully functional Muslim country, almost like Iran. Okay, and Turkey's in NATO. Okay, they're our ally.
Yeah.
But they're
We used to be
not as
in good relationship.
right.
I still recall that Iraq, when we were attacking Iraq, Turkey was among the nations who first joined us in the air raid.
And we had bases in Turkey, still do.
All right.
And I just can't figure out why this is one man who really, his only sin is he's a Christian and believes in Christ. And Erdogan is saying that, you know, he was part of the uprising to try to dethrone Erdogan from his power. But there's no proof of that. I mean, it's just, you don't like your enemy, you know, he's not an enemy, he's just a Christian. And just let him go and the whole thing will be back to normal. So I don't, it's just, and he's been in there since sometime in 2016. That's a long time to sit
More
in
than
a,
2 years already.
yeah, a long time to sit in a jail cell for nothing. And Erdogan's done that with some other people too. I just still can't figure why he just let him go. So stubbornness, stubbornness is not a quality that has many practical aspects to it. On a practical basis, all he'd have to do is say, okay, and the guy lived in Turkey for 20 years, so he loves the Turkish people and he loves the Turkish society and their food or whatever, all that, okay? Just let him out, and then we don't need all this noise. Now we'll see how long a person can be stubborn and how much he's willing to let his country be damaged economically. But because we can bring them to their knees.
I heard about him about a day ago.
Yeah.
Talking about the president of Turkey making some kind of conditions, some kind of a prerequisites for them to
release him.
Right.
Yeah.
One of them is to depreciate the currency. That was the one call that he asked for.
Okay.
Right? President Donald Trump says no condition, no nothing. First, let me see this guy.
Well, and I'll tell you why Trump's doing that. That's because we had Otto Lembir come back from North Korea, and 3 days later he was dead. So we don't know what kind of physical shape this gentleman's in. So I don't see. Yeah.
He was literally murdered.
Tortured and murdered.
Yeah, murdered.
Horrible. So sad.
And
young, handsome boy.
What we got was only a breathing corpse.
That's right. Right.
Breathing corpse, and he
lasted 3 days.
Without a support whatsoever.
Yeah.
3 days, and he passed away.
Yeah.
So we know this thing. I mean, this priest, he is still in good shape.
Do we know that? I don't know that, but if you've heard that,
pictures of him,
yeah.
And of course, if it's not a fake,
right.
It's not a bad picture.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a bad picture.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I do feel so much appreciated about is the fact the American value got displayed.
Yes, sir.
Got displaced
Right.
in this incident, right?
Including compatibly with the remains of people killed in World War II. Our people, 55 have come back to America so far. There's lots more there, but they're looking for them, and it's pretty hard to find.
If countries are lined up there, if countries are lined up there for you to choose to be born in,
Yes.
right? You would, of course, choose someone somewhere
Right.
where life values so much. When I say life, I'm not talking about life of present.
Right. Right.
I'm talking about life of a regular
Lifestyle.
person.
Yeah.
No, regular person.
Right. Opportunities.
Life like a Jack Chow.
Right.
Life like a Ken Hemming.
Right. Regular middle American
Regular middle American people.
Right.
Right. Including the poorest one.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
So
because the opportunity's there.
How much their life values.
In America, Jack, many people, have been born in real poverty, because poverty exists everywhere in the world. It has to, and that have climbed up through all of the deals, not just monetarily successful, but intellectually and in reputation. To me, my reputation is more important to me than dollar bills. My reputation, I really take it serious. I don't know if it's good or bad exactly, but I take it seriously. So everything I do, I try to be compatible with a good reputation.
Yeah. In a system when life has that much value, though,
Yeah.
you really want to feel proud of it. That's one thing.
Yes.
You never, for the blinkest moment, to think of taking advantage of it.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
I heard over this weekend in San Francisco,
Okay.
they caught quite a lengthy video clips
Okay.
at a church.
Okay.
Right? They display. They distribute food.
Okay.
Canned food.
Nice.
For the needy people.
Yeah.
And the needy people in lines. Everybody get a bag of the food.
Sure.
You know what they did with the food?
Sell.
Some sold it.
It's to buy drugs.
I don't know what they buy.
Yeah.
What they buy for with the money.
Right.
but they sold the food that was supposed to give to the needy people.
Yeah.
And the guy says, well, anyway, there's nothing you can do. You give the food up, right? That's their food already.
Right.
Right.
You give it up. It's
You
theirs.
give it up.
They own it.
To church. And the church owns it.
They can
and
chew
and
it
the
or sell
church decided to distribute it in that way.
Right.
And by doing so, people are taking advantage of it.
Wow. That's depressing.
They got the food at one end of the street and the other.
They sell it.
They're selling it.
Holy cow.
You know what? They sell for $5 per bag
Yeah, right.
of the food.
Yeah, for a beer or drugs or who knows what. Yeah, right. Well, that hurts my soul. That hurts my feelings quite deeply.
That really, 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 versus the fact that we, as a nation, how much we value of every life.
Well, let me tell you one thing too, Jack. Like I've had many, many people in my life come up. Oh, can you spare a couple of dollars? I'm hungry or something, and I've never given anybody cash, but I've said if you'd like to go in the store, I'll buy you some food. Nobody wants to. They don't want to.
I do both.
Yeah, no, you're real good.
I do both.
I know what you do.
I know them. Right out of my house, there's the corner, there's a 7-Eleven, which I stop by almost every morning, right? For a coffee or a cigarette, for a sandwich, whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right? So now, I either get them in, say, hey, pick up the same thing, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Right? Normally they do the same thing I do.
Okay.
Right? And the purpose I make them buy the same sandwich I buy is to let them feel that he and I were equal.
Right. I like that. Right.
Yeah. I'm equal as you because I eat the same sandwich as you do.
Right.
You are the same thing.
And
vice
you pay
versa.
for both of them, right?
And I pay for both.
Yeah.
This is the way one.
That's really good.
Way two.
Proud of you.
If a guy says I ate,
Yeah.
I need money for lunch, I will give him a couple of dollars.
Yeah.
I will give him a couple of dollars.
Yeah.
Right?
I just won't do that.
Or you know what? If it is a acquaintance, right? I go back to the store. I put a few dollars at the counter. I know the clerks.
If he comes
I said,
in for
keep
lunch,
the money
right.
for lunch if he comes in for lunch.
No, that's brilliant.
Or otherwise, you keep the money until I come back collect.
That's intelligent. That's great, Jack.
All right.
Your
So
character is
I
beautiful.
try to help them without getting them spoiled.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
All right.
Right.
These people in San Francisco are getting spoiled.
Oh yeah.
They are blatantly taking advantage of the system.
Yeah.
Our system, back to the point, we motivated the whole nation for one life to come back to the United States.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Such is the nation and such is the ugly picture that I feel so disgusted about.
And then I think this is a nice time to bring up one other thing that just happened, okay? Governor Cuomo of New York was giving a speech, to a ultra-liberal audience.
Right. Let's take a short moment out. We come back for Governor Cuomo. Right.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow with the brother Ken Hemming. Together, we're wrapping up the weekly update for you for what had happened during the last week for a whole week, though. There are things more important than what we talk about, but in our eye, we pick up only the most important thing. Yeah, be it conceptual, be it economical, be it whatsoever, we do this for the purpose of educating the community, right? So, you mentioned about the governor of New York.
Yes.
Right. So about his speech.
Okay, he was giving a talk to a very liberal audience, and then he was mentioning, President Trump says, "Make America Great Again," and Governor Cuomo actually stated, America has never been great and probably will never be. Now, I'm speechless. America has never been great. You tell that to the hundreds of thousands or millions of our people that have died securing freedom for this country. World War II, all the way back to the Civil War, all the way back to our 1776 activities. And to say that, and he's doubling down and tripling down on it. He says it's not a great country. Well, then you tell me some other country that's better. And if the Democratic Party, and he's one of their leaders, doesn't think America is great, it can't even be greater, which President Trump thinks we're going to be even greater, and we're doing it, I'm out of breath. And for him to say that, there's such hatred and divisiveness on the, it's not the regular Democrats, it's the radical left that's taken over the leadership.
Forget partisanship. We really can. We are capable of discussing this matter to as thorough as we wish, without having to point the fingers at any partisanship. Right?
Okay.
Let's put it this way.
Okay.
It is something that is shown right in front of your eyes. Have you seen America this strong? You haven't.
No.
You haven't, right? I disagree with the fact it is no longer be. Well, I think it should be. It should be that way forever.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And what make the America strong again? It is the trust. It's the believing in America being first. In America.
That's right.
It is a confidence in yourself that makes it.
Yeah.
And no partisanship at all.
Yeah.
No partisanship at all.
And again, if you want to say without any partisanship, Washington, D.C. and many of the people that supposedly lead this country have really been corrupted. And that's why I'm all for term limits, 6 years, 12 years, whatever it is, go home and get out and get your other job, be a normal person. And we need to do that because power corrupts. And when you're a congressman or a senator or head of these agencies, a lot of people succumb to the temptation of corruption.
Exactly.
I would never. I would rather die.
Exactly. Okay, you and I seldom spend time on California as a state.
Yes.
We either talk about things domestic, or we talk about things nationally as a nation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
now, if I could use today of California into the discussion, though, you would exactly know or feel what I mean. Given the laws, right? We have AB 109.
Yes, sir.
Right, which is the jail alignment for early release.
Right.
They released anyway with that law, the AB 109, just in order to make sure that they are not coming back, get arrested again. They make another law, which is Proposition 47, to increase the threshold of misdemeanor.
Right.
That's from 450 to 950.
Yeah.
With a 500 increase, loss of crime could be kept at the lower level within the definition of misdemeanor so that you're not going to jail.
Exactly.
All right? Now, in order to further prevent some of those extremes going back to jail, they made laws such as number 57, in which you rape a subconscious woman, may not be executed, may not be charged or prosecuted
with a felony.
as rape or as a felony.
Right.
And now they made one step further. They made the AB 1810. Under AB 1810, everybody, all criminals, all suspects, before they start arraignment, not even hearing.
Right.
Before start arraignment, he comes to court or she comes to court to say, I claim my right to have my doctor checked that I'm a victim of mental health.
Right.
So the time when I committed that robbing, that raping, that whatsoever, I was not me. It was not me.
Yeah.
It was my disease, my mental condition that did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and for that, according to the law of 1810, every criminal has 2 years' time to go find a doctor
To be rehabilitated. Yeah.
to get a doctor's note. Doctor testify, say, hey, this guy was mentally ill. Right? For that, no prosecution, no charge, no court, no jail time, no nothing.
And yet the victim is the victim, and there's no justice that would calm the problem of being a
Justice
victim.
went to hell.
Right.
Justice went to hell. Where's the justice? Where's the justice, right? Okay, now, to answer your question, to get back to where we started the mission in California, though, when you are in a statement, in a situation to talk about California, though, you must ask what kind of mind the legislators are in at the moment they create the kind of laws.
Well, that's a real good question. And it really gets down to, from an early age now, in youth, in schools, they're being taught ideologies that do not respect the victims as much as they respect the opportunities to commit crime and not be in big trouble.
The whole system, the whole
It's gone backwards.
justice system
Upside down.
speaks of criminals,
Yeah.
speaks for criminals.
Right. And for illegals.
For illegals.
Both. Yeah.
Right? Speaks for criminals, for illegals.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would not have created the laws like that crazy.
May I congratulate you and Mr. James Sue on one thing that is tremendously important, please?
Go ahead, please.
Your network, Jack, you guys do a beautiful job of having many visitors informing your viewers about what's happening
Thank
in
you very much.
California.
Including you yourself.
Right, but on a really, really big basis. You have many legislators, you have a lot of people that care about life and lifestyle.
Okay, now.
And you and Mr. Sue do a real good job of keeping these people
For the
informed.
past 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I've been focusing on finding out who the author was for AB 1810.
Good.
Right? For that, I did my research. I did research everywhere. I searched the Assembly House, the Senate House.
Yeah.
I searched everything. The whole thing is off record. Right. And then I sent my request to some of the legislature's office.
Yes, sir.
Right, to ask who the author is.
Yeah.
Who the author is that have created 1810.
Yeah.
You know what the answer was?
Tell me.
Yeah. There's no author. It's a insert. It's a trailer bill.
Okay, okay. I understand exactly what you're saying. That's very interesting.
Okay,
It's
that's
very,
very interesting,
yeah.
right? Even for a trailer bill, even for an insert, there must be a human being who inserts
Someone had to conceive it, yes.
right?
Yeah.
Somebody has to do it, right?
Yeah.
Right?
See, I know you've got nice relationships with,
This somebody who does it, I'm only asking the somebody,
yeah.
what kind of mind is he in or is she in? Raping a subconscious woman is not raping?
Right. Of course it is. Of course it is.
Robbing a bank is not a robbing unless you prove it and I'm not a victim of my mental condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
This whole thing is crazy, right? So when it comes to that point, though,
Jeez.
you are not talking about partisanship, man. You're talking about the whole system corrupted.
Right. And
You
collapsing.
see where we're.
Well, you know, I
where
have
I'm
a
heading?
book on my personal value system. I mean, it's part of a value system to respect laws, to respect people, to have dignity for them. And when it's violated and then you look for an excuse to get away with it, that weakens our society as a whole, quite dramatically. And it passes down to generations. We need more people to keep supporting wonderfully admirable value systems.
Sure enough, I'm so glad that I'm not fighting a war myself.
Right.
Lots of people joined me.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And lots of mainstream media joined me, right, in the move to find out who made it.
Now, what I was going to say is, you know,
I mean, 1810.
you have great
And
relationships.
they are overturning it. They are recalling it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Good.
you know, your network has a lot of power.
Yeah.
You have a lot of influence,
Yeah.
and that's why one of the reasons I'm so proud to be associated
I'm
with you.
planning on sending a request letter to every single office of the 120 legislators.
Yes, sir.
Asking them who did it.
Well, and you know, you've got great relationships with both Democrats and Republicans. Okay, assembly people. Somebody knows.
Yeah.
Somebody should share that with
They
you.
of course know.
Yeah.
All right, my friend, my dear audiences, let's take a short moment out. When we come back, we will continue from there. Thank you. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow with my friend Ken Hemming. All together, we're doing this weekly update to bring you what we believe are the important issues for the past week. There are issues that we really feel excited about, right? Including one fact we just discovered when he and I do the weekly update, though, we either do international or we do national.
Yes. Yeah.
As for statewide, we should insert statewide. Okay.
Well, we're in California.
We're in California,
Yeah.
right? Good. In talking about California, we found out that from now on, no, not from now on, from the past June,
Yes, sir.
from June of 2018, if you have anybody arrested for anything, don't worry about it. Don't even knock on the bail bond office
Yeah.
because nobody will detain anybody.
Catch and release.
It's an immediate release, it's demand release. You can pawn on the table to a prosecutor or a police office, say, release my brother. You can say that.
Yeah.
All right? I'm applying law AB 1810, right? You don't accuse him, you don't arrest him for whatever he had committed, according to you, before he is mentally testified by a doctor
Wow.
that he is sick.
Yeah. Wow.
And yet my brother has 2 years of doing so. Take your time, all right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, me and my brother going home, bye-bye, we'll come back 2 years. So that is the law, all right? With that, we want to touch about Iowa, about the girl who died, who was killed by illegal.
Illegal. Yeah. Well,
Thank God in the state of Iowa, there's not such a law of AB 1810.
yeah.
If it is 1810, that illegal has to go the process for 2 years to be checked if he is mentally healthy.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, you know, California, New York, and New Jersey are probably the most liberal states in America. You know, there's probably a couple others the same, but these are very liberal states. This thing, of course, in our state, we had Kate Steinle, who was murdered by an illegal alien that had been deported 6 times and came back 6 times. And we're trying to get a law that will try to prevent that, and so far we have failed in doing that, the Kate Steinle law in Congress. And now in Iowa, Mollie Tibbets, who's an 18-year-old beautiful young lady about to start her 2nd year of college, was out jogging by herself, and there was a black car that you could see, because there's videos almost everywhere, you know, be careful what you're doing, because someone's taking a picture of you. But that kind of was sort of trailing behind her, and then they were able to trace that car. After 1 month of looking for her, trying, hoping and praying that she was alive, they found her body a couple days ago, and then they traced this car to this guy. guy who is an illegal alien. It's very much of a Kate Steinle type situation that will be getting tremendous national attention because, you know, if we don't enforce our laws, if we don't have a secure border, and if we let people out of jail that have really done crimes, then these murders will continue to happen. This guy, I've seen a picture of him, nice looking guy in his 20s, I think 24. I don't know how evil exists in there, but evil did exist in there. And it's a big story. And then, for example, on MSNBC, which is one of the networks, they didn't want to talk about it. Somebody brought it up. He said, "Oh, that's just a girl in Iowa," because they don't care. They don't care about the victims. They care about, you know, protecting illegal aliens and that. So it's a huge problem. I hope reason will prevail eventually, Jack, but I'm not even confident it will, because the deep ideology on one side, you know, regular Democrats are fine, you know, and regular Republicans are fine. Anyone too radical is not my hero. But this girl is dead. She didn't need to be dead. Yeah. Kate Steinle's dead. She didn't need to be dead. And we've got to do something to minimize the chances.
Of course. Officer Keith Boyer.
Yes, sir.
Of Whittier.
Yes.
Right? Of Downey.
Okay.
Of Downey. Of Downey Whittier was killed by the guy, early released.
Yeah.
In and out of jail for 6 times already. Right?
It's just not right.
And like this girl in Iowa. Right? And lots of people died of no reason.
Well, see, like America,
no reason. That's the problem, the big problem.
We talk about pride, that we go back and we find people in North Korea that died, try to bring their remains over, try to get Otto Warmbier out, try to get the pastor out of Turkey, and yet we're not putting the same energy into protecting our individual citizens here.
You're right.
Yeah, this is really troubling.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
It's very troubling.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I really wonder when these laws, when those legislators were creating 1810 kind of laws, were they really worried about the
future innocent victims?
The future of California.
I believe the answer is
no.
no.
The voters of California. Okay, I'll give you
the
voters. I'll give you a simple example.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, every morning on my way to work, right? Well, I was going this way on Garfield.
Yes, sir.
And horizontally, I see at each lane there's a motorbike hidden there.
Okay, yeah.
Cop.
Right.
The police cop hidden there.
Trying to get money for...
Trying to charge at the specific moment to catch somebody.
To trap.
All right?
Right.
Okay, now, that's not a long street.
Yeah.
You have 3 of them there.
Ooh.
Right? Now, I'll give you another picture. If for the same length of street, though, you have the 3 officers exposed openly.
Yes, sir.
So everybody gets deterred.
That's good. See,
everybody paid attention to the cop existence, cop appearance. Oh, I have to drive slowly.
Right.
I have to wear my seatbelt.
That's more effective.
I can't talk on my cell phone.
Right.
Whatsoever. So laws are obeyed.
Right. Reminded people that...
Rather than all of a sudden,
right.
There comes a bike, somebody,
and then you got a $300 fine or something.
All right. So now,
you're right.
If I'm asking you
you're right.
to give a definition of the 2 pictures.
Yeah.
To picture number 1, which is the hidden bike, right? To picture number 2, which is the commonly exposed bikes, right?
Okay.
How do you want to label them? I give you 2 labels.
Yeah, right? I got it.
To charge, to arrest.
Yeah.
And then to deter.
Right. The hidden bikes are to try to raise money for the city. okay, and money that doesn't need to be raised if you manage your finances properly and don't spend foolishly, okay? So, and the other is then to help protect the people, you know, and re-educate the people that, you know, there are laws, and when you see black and white, I mean, when I see a cop behind me, I always get kind of nervous, okay? I do. I mean, and I go, wow, you know. But so, and sometimes what the police do, this is good. They'll just park an empty police car somewhere, and that in itself, deters.
Yeah.
So,
that's a nice philosophy.
Yeah.
All right.
Deter, remind, not hide, trap, and punish.
We
in the fines.
Taxpayers are the boss. We hire you. We pay you. In other words, we buy you to be there in the morning hours, to be mingled in the traffic,
right?
To remind people,
right,
to respect laws.
You're good.
All right. We are not paying you to play cat and mouse.
Yeah. You know, one other thing that will bother you as much as it bothers me, you know, a lot of people get a ticket because one of their brake lights doesn't work, or, you know, something's not working right. So the cops pull you over, you know, and then you get a ticket for it, and the ticket is expensive, and it's a lot of the people that are the poorer people that don't have the money sometimes to have their repairs done on a timely basis. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes then these poor people that don't have the money to keep everything maintained as well as possible, then they get whammied, you know, with a $300 fine and then have to get it fixed.
Given the fact
it makes me sad.
Given the fact we have even laws to add $175 on registration already,
right,
and to add 63 cents pennies of gasoline per gallon already.
Not funny.
And given the fact that we have the hidden police officers,
right,
and with the laws of AB 1810, AB 109, Proposition 47, Proposition, 57.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, where is California heading?
Well, you know, I've said before, Jack, California is my least favorite state in America because of our leadership, okay? It's heading to, actually, I've said this before.
It's heading to hell.
We're heading to hell, and I don't mind if California, they threaten to, resign from America or something. I'd let this state go. I'll move to Texas or something.
Okay, whatever.
It's because it's really, the state is being financially demoralized and diminished.
The thing is that lots of people do not realize that they have the right and they are capable of moving things around.
Well, one thing we'll talk about when we have a time is a concept of mine that, socialism is, I want free college, I want everything free. Socialism is not free.
Okay, that's another day.
Another day.
My dear friend.
After a nap.
Before I go anyway, I cut you off.
Yeah.
My dear friend, that's good for a day. Thank you very much for watching. And to my friend,
thank you, Jack. I love you and love your viewers.
I love your concept.
Thank you.
Good.